How's it going? Today we're doing an RV water pump showdown test to find out which one is the best out of the most popular and the highest rated RV pumps. We're going to look at water pressure, gallons per minute, the sound of it with about a dozen other things to consider. We're going to boil it down to which one is the best for RVing. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So now to start off, my hope with this test is to be able to find the best water pump out there for RVing, to be able to cut through reading the specs and reading reviews and seeing a side-by-side comparison. Because is it really worth buying a $200 water pump when you can get one for 60 bucks? Today, hopefully we're gonna get to the bottom of that. So the first pump that we're gonna test out is the one that's already on our RV, which is the Shurflo. It has a stated PSI at 55, and we tested it and had 60 PSI. As a stated at 3 gallons per minute, but using it on the RV and just having an open hose, running about 3 gallons through here, and we got 1.4 gallons per minute. Running it in reverse to see if it would self-prime. It did self-prime from a bucket, so for sanitation and winterizing, it can do that, and it also self-primed from the freshwater tank. You can see that it's a 4-chamber diaphragm pump, and checking the sound, it was at 55 dB down in the bay, but inside the RV, it was around 41 to 42 dB while using it. Now for how well this can keep up with multiple fixtures, we had 43 PSI when having one faucet open. When having two faucets open, it still kept it around 43 PSI in the system. So those are the numbers for the Shurflo that came with our RV, gives us a benchmark to test the other ones. Next up is the Hydroax. It weighs in at 4 pounds, 4.7 ounces, has about the same mounting as the other one did with rubber legs and a rubber base for suppressing that vibration. And it has a stated PSI of 55 PSI, and we tested it and we got 52 PSI, which is a good pressure. It's rated at 3 gallons per minute. Testing it, we got 3 gallons at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So that's 1.39 gallons per minute. We were getting more noise in the bay at 59 to 60 dB. Inside the RV, we were getting 46 to 47 dB. We ran it dry for a minute to test it, and it survived the test. And so far, the Shurflo and the Hydroax were pretty close together. Now, next up is the Flowmax. It weighs in at 4 pounds, 1.9 ounces, and again, has the similar base, the rubber legs, rubber base at the bottom for mounting to suppress that vibration. Its stated PSI is at 45 PSI, and the flow is stated at 3.2 gallons per minute. And testing the pressure, we saw that it was just under 40 PSI at around 37, and the gallons per minute was at 2 minutes, 10 seconds, giving us 1.39 gallons per minute. It did pass the self-priming test, being able to pull from the bucket and from being able to pull from the freshwater tank. And the sound did step up a little on this one. We were at 60 and 61 dB in the bay, and in the RV, we were at 45 to 46 dB. Now, I did notice on this pump, because it had a lower PSI, that it was able to catch up. So you'd get just a little bit of that pulsing when using just the normal water and also on the lower stream, but it was able to catch up faster. So it was a very slow on and off for that pump. Not necessarily a pulsing, but the pump would catch up so you'd hear it turn on and off while you're using the water normally. With using one fixture, the pressure stayed fairly consistent because it's able to keep caught up. And with using two fixtures in the RV, it was really similar through the entire thing, about 37 PSI. So now the next one we have up is pretty popular, which is the Remco. The Remco also for installation has these quick connect adapters on the side, but you still thread those adapters in like normal. It also has more metal and less rubber for the mounting, which could affect the sound, but it weighs in at 7 pounds, 8 ounces. Now, getting to the performance numbers, it's stated at 65 PSI, which is a bit higher than I would like from my pump. It's rated at 5.3 gallons per minute. When I first tested the pressure, it came out at 62 PSI, but I checked it a few more times and it was much higher than that at 70 PSI and 76 PSI, to where I even saw a little bit of water coming out of the water heater around the O-ring that's in there, which I didn't like. So I'd want to get that pressure down. That's a higher PSI than I want my fixtures exposed to. On testing how many gallons per minute we get through the RV, we got 1.7 gallons per minute. Definitely faster than the previous pumps we've looked at. Switching it over to try the self-priming, it definitely did the self-priming, being able to pump from the bucket. Also, the sound inside of the bay was higher at 62 dB, and on the inside of the RV, we were at 51 dB. So definitely the loudest pump that we've had so far. When testing how it maintained pressure while using fixtures, with one fixture, it was at 76 PSI, which was really high, and two fixtures at 71 PSI, which is higher of a pressure than I want on my RV. It's hard on the fixtures and the fittings and the O-rings because of that high pressure. So something to consider. Now, all these pumps, they do have an adjustment that you can do on the pressure switch. This is the way that this one comes from factory, and the adjustment on this one is under a cover, and they don't have anything in the instructions. It's almost like they don't want you tampering with that. But that said, you can adjust the pressure to some degree on all these pumps that we've been looking at today. And all of our installations have had flexible tubing into here because it's supposed to help dampen the sound. It doesn't transfer to the RV as much. So we have been doing that. We have not been using an accumulator tank, which can help with some of the problems that we've been having with the pumps, with the cycling. So you can get accessories like this. We can mount these with cushion underneath them to make them even quieter. But I wanted to make sure we didn't have all of those variables and we're actually testing the pumps for what they are. So if you're looking for some of these accessories, or if you're looking for a pump, check out eTrailer. They are the sponsor of this video. And all the links are going to be down in the description and in that first comment to the accessories that are great for pumps and to all the pumps that are going to be in this video as well. Let's move on to our next one, which is FloJet. This one, again, has those quick disconnects on the pump itself, and then you can thread into that. But then we're back to the very typical rubber base that you see on a lot of the RV pumps that are out there for mounting. The FloJet is our lightest pump so far, weighing in at 3 pounds, 4.2 ounces. Its stated PSI is at 50. The tested PSI was at 43. The stated flow for gallons per minute was 2.9, and the tested flow was at 1.22 gallons per minute on our 3-gallon test. It easily passed the self-priming test and also the run dry test. We were getting 65 dB inside the storage bay, and inside the RV, it was at 55 dB, which was surprising because it didn't quite seem as loud, but definitely the loudest on the list so far. It was able to maintain just over 40 PSI with one fixture on, and with two fixtures on, it was able to maintain around 39 PSI, just below 40. Now, hopefully we see a little bit better performance out of our next one because we're checking out the Seaflow. This is the 33 series, which is a multi-purpose pump. So you can use it for potable water, but it's also available to use for raw water washdown from the marine industry. It weighs in at 3 pounds, 15 ounces, costs $60, which is a really good price if it performs well, and has a 4-year warranty, which is the highest warranty that we're seeing on this list from Seaflow. And testing it, we got 50 PSI. It's stated at 3 gallons per minute, and through the RV, we're getting 1.34 gallons per minute. As far as sound, inside the bay, we were right around 60, and inside the RV, we were between 44 and 45. It passed the self-priming test, being able to pump from the bucket from the ground. It was able to maintain 42 PSI with one fixture being on, and about 41 to 42 PSI with two fixtures in the RV being on. It passed the run dry test, and it has a built-in check valve, which is nice, especially at their price point. And with the 4-year warranty, they're looking pretty good because that performed really well for $60. So let's move on to the 42 series. That was the 33 series. And this one comes with 4 chambers rather than the 3 chambers on the last one. So this one weighs in at 4 pounds, 5.1 ounces for the 42 series. The stated pressure on it is 55 PSI, and the tested pressure was at 52 PSI, which is just about ideal. The gallons per minute test that we did, we were getting 1.45 gallons per minute. It passed the self-priming test, and this 4-chamber pump is the quietest we've seen so far at 51 to 52 dB in the bay, and inside the RV, we were around 40 to 43 dB. Testing it with a fixture on, it was able to maintain 45 PSI in the RV, and with 2 fixtures on, we were at 43 PSI. And it did pass the run dry test. So at $65, this one has performed exceptionally well. So let's move on to our third Seaflow, which is the Seaflow 55 series. It's a 5-chamber pump and it's stated at 60 PSI, 5 gallons per minute, has that 4-year warranty, and it weighs in at 6 pounds, 3.7 ounces. And installing this, you can see that the rubber feet on here are different than the majority. This is one of two that has more of a metal structure and small rubber feet to dampen that sound, but installs just like all the other pumps. The tested pressure on the RV came in just over 60 at 61 PSI. The amount of flow came in the fastest so far at 2.07 gallons per minute. This is by far the fastest so far. It passed the self-priming test for being able to pump out of a bucket on the ground, and it passed the test for running it dry and surviving. Turning on one fixture inside, it was able to hold the pressure at 61 PSI, being able to turn on and off, and 2 fixtures, it was holding it at 60 PSI. Very stable, very impressive. For sound inside the bay, it was at 54 to 55 dB, and inside the RV, it was at 46 to 47. Not the quietest, but for a 5-chamber pump, puts it in the middle of the field. As a side note, I did get some strange readings the first time I did the test on this because it took a while to self-prime and get all the air out of the system. And during some of that, it was pretty loud. But overall, pretty impressive from the last 2 Seaflow pumps. Now, moving on to our next one, which is Flowmax. It weighs in at 3 pounds, 12.7 ounces for this 3-chamber pump. Has a stated PSI at 50, and testing it on the RV, we were just over that 50 mark, so around 51 PSI. And the gallons per minute is stated at 3 gallons per minute. Our timed flow test put us at 1.44 gallons per minute. It did pass the self-prime test, being able to pump from the bucket from the ground. And this 3-chamber pump was able to maintain a 48 PSI with 1 fixture running and 47 PSI with 2 fixtures running. And running it dry for a minute, it survived that test as well. As far as sound in the bay, I was getting 53 to 54 dB, and inside the RV, it was a respectable 41 to 43 dB. Now, let's boil this down. Which ones did best in which categories, and why would you choose one over the other, and which one is the best buy? So the pump that performed well out of every category was the Seaflow 4200 series. It did great out of the box with the pressure. Yes, the pressure can be adjusted on all these, but right out of the box, we're hitting that optimal level between 45 and 55 PSI. Remco was way off the charts. There's no reason why they should be shipping with that high of a PSI, but the Seaflow is right in the range of where it should be. But the Seaflow 42 series wasn't the highest flow pump that was out there, but it was definitely above the average. If you want a high flow pump, you'd want to look at the Seaflow 55 series. It can help save time in filling up the tank when you're using the pump, but your fixtures are typically going to regulate how much water is coming out because you don't want to burn through that water as quickly. So high flow isn't always as necessary while using the water, but when filling the tank. But the 42 series did just above average in that flow test. And it had the quietest performance. It's definitely not silent, so you can still hear it if it's running. In case you have a leak, you can hear that kicking on and off, but it was still fairly quiet, so it's not going to be an annoyance inside the RV. And the only one that was cheaper than this was the Shurflo. So the Shurflo was $60 and this was $65. And with the 4-year warranty, it's why it lands it on top. Now, all of these, you can have accessories to go with them to try and make them quieter, or use an accumulator tank so it's not cycling on and off so much when you're using the water, because every single pump we did test and we could see the cycling on and off, especially when you turn that water down. They all had that to some degree or another. There's also the RVWPC. We've done a review on it in the past that definitely helps smooth out the operation of the pump, along with other features as well. But I hope this test helps you out. Whether you need to replace your water pump right now, or you're getting one to put in so you can have your old one as a backup, whatever the reason is, I hope this information helps you make a good decision. So anyways, I think that's gonna do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. So as always, if we don't see you on the road, hopefully we will. See you next video. Take care.